it merits noting that the Victorian era is a period of time, but not really a style in itself. The epoch represents 7 decades that span when Queen Victoria was on the throne of England, plus a couple more years thrown in at the end for good measure. When Victoria came to the throne in 1837, Great Britain was climbing to the heights of its power and influence in the world. No one could have known at that time that this young woman of only 18 years would remain on the throne until the next century, longer than any other British monarch before her. Despite the fact that she died in 1901, the Victorian era is often extended to 1913 to include all the years up to the First World War in 1914. Although we refer to this time period as the Victorian era, that's only a label that we've put on this period as it drifts into history, and we try to cram all the events and stuff of a generation that lived prior to World War I into a neat, manageable little box. I want to show you an interesting book. It's currently being sold under the title of Sloane's Victorian Buildings. That's a name that would have meant nothing to its readers in the 1800s. The book was first published in nearby Philadelphia in 1852 by self-proclaimed architect Samuel Sloane, entitled The Model Architect. Through this title and through these pages, Samuel Sloane was attempting to promote himself and his ideas for what he felt the ideal architecture should be for the growing American nation. He'd seen enough of the uniform classical revival and federalist styles, and his publishers were eager to see something new. I want to show you this. Sloane designed a modern villa in the Italian style, and he titled it the Southern Mansion. Look at this version of the house with 5 windows across the front on the second floor. He also drew a version with a slightly more modest 3 windows across the front, but added this wing onto the side. And behind me is the Southern Mansion. And I think you'd have to say it's the exact same manner that's in the book by Samuel Sloane. Today, it is a famous Cape May bed and breakfast, which proudly proclaims in their publicity that, in 1863, the Philadelphia industrialist George Allen built an American villa of bracket, post, and beam on the island of Cape May, designed by the internationally acclaimed architect Sam Sloane. Obviously, Mr. Allen was the dream client for Samuel Sloane. Mr. Allen wanted the big version with 5 windows across the front of the mansion. The side extension came along a few years later. Really, this book only contains about half of the styles that would be popularized during the period that would eventually be called the Victorian era. Some of the styles had yet to be invented, or more accurately stated, to evolve. And although we might think of the Victorian era and think styles were all the same, styles changed considerably through the era. Take, for example, Western fashion. You could say that in the Victorian era, all women's fashion was all the same, and that they all wore long dresses. Well, I guess that's true. Wait, are those dresses getting even puffier? How's she gonna fit through a door? Oh, now they're getting reasonable again. But wait, are they turning into chickens? Wow! Check out the arms on those women. They must really work out. Oh, okay. Things are getting sleek. Quite minimalistic. Nice. I think you see my point. Yes, all the skirts were long through all those years, but there was quite a bit of change in style. The same can be said for architecture from this period. There are some traits that are common among many of the building styles from the era. However, you can also notice styles changing and evolving through the era. It's helpful to know that in the 1800s, the United States was a young and sparsely populated country. When the Europeans first arrived, the eastern half was practically covered in forest. This meant in those early days wood was plentiful and cheap. Also, it was the age of machines, and some of those machines made working with wood and making decorative ornamentation in wood easier than ever before, like child's play. First up, we're going to look at Italianate, or Italian villa architecture.